The world is in constant flux, a dynamic stage where power dynamics shift and reshape the global order. This ever-changing environment is influenced by a myriad of factors, from technological advancements to geopolitical strategies, and from economic policies to cultural exchanges. The end of the Cold War marked a pivotal moment, signaling the decline of a bipolar world dominated by the United States and the Soviet Union. This period was characterized by intense rivalry and a clear division between two superpowers, each vying for global influence and control. In its place, a new era emerged, characterized by the rise of new powers, the resurgence of old ones, and a complex interplay of economic, political, and social forces. Countries like China and India began to assert themselves on the global stage, while the European Union sought to unify and strengthen its collective influence. This evolving landscape, often referred to as the New World Order, presents both opportunities and challenges for nations and individuals alike. It is a world where collaboration and competition coexist, and where the actions of one nation can have far-reaching implications for others. Understanding the contours of this new order requires a nuanced perspective, one that recognizes the multifaceted nature of global power. It involves looking beyond traditional measures of power, such as military strength and economic wealth, to consider factors like technological innovation, cultural influence, and diplomatic relationships. It's not simply about military might or economic prowess, but also about the ability to influence ideas, shape narratives, and build alliances. Soft power, the ability to attract and co-opt rather than coerce, has become an essential tool in the arsenal of modern states. The New World Order is not a static entity but an ongoing process of change, driven by technological advancements, demographic shifts, and the ever-evolving aspirations of people around the world. The rapid pace of technological innovation in particular has transformed how we communicate, work, and live, creating new opportunities and challenges. This essay will delve into the key features of the New World Order, examining the major shifts in global power dynamics and their impact on international relations. We will explore how these changes are reshaping the geopolitical landscape and what they mean for the future of global governance. We will explore the roles of key players like the United States, China, and the European Union, highlighting the challenges and opportunities they face in this evolving landscape. Each of these actors brings unique strengths and weaknesses to the table, influencing the global order in different ways. By understanding the forces shaping the world today, we can better navigate the complexities of the 21st century and work towards a more peaceful and prosperous future. This requires a commitment to dialogue, cooperation, and a willingness to adapt to new realities. The journey begins by acknowledging that the old certainties of the Cold War era are gone. The binary division of the world into two opposing camps has given way to a more multipolar and interconnected global system. The world is no longer divided into two opposing camps, and the rules of the game are constantly being rewritten. This fluidity demands a new approach to international relations, one that is flexible, inclusive, and forward-looking. This fluidity can be both exhilarating and unsettling, demanding adaptability and a willingness to embrace change. As we move forward, it is essential to remain vigilant, informed, and proactive in shaping a world that reflects our shared values and aspirations. The most significant shift in recent decades has been the move away from a unipolar world dominated by the United States. For much of the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the U.S. held unparalleled influence over global affairs, shaping economic policies, military alliances, and cultural trends. However, this era of American dominance is gradually giving way towards a more multipolar system, where power is distributed among several influential nations. This transition is driven by the rise of new centers of power, particularly in Asia, which are challenging the traditional dominance of Western nations. Countries like China and India are not only growing economically, but are also becoming more assertive in their foreign policies and international engagements. China, with its rapidly growing economy and assertive foreign policy, stands out as the most prominent example of this shift. Its Belt and Road Initiative, for instance, aims to expand its influence through infrastructure investments across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Other countries such as India, Brazil, and Russia are also asserting themselves on the global stage, adding to the complexity of the new order. India, with its vast population and burgeoning tech industry, is becoming a key player in global markets. Brazil, rich in natural resources, is leveraging its economic potential, while Russia continues to exert its influence through energy exports and military capabilities. This multipolarity does not necessarily imply instability or conflict, but rather a more diffuse distribution of power, where no single nation can dictate the terms of engagement. It encourages a balance of power, where multiple countries have a say in global governance. It creates a more level playing field, forcing nations to cooperate and compete simultaneously, often on multiple fronts. This dynamic fosters innovation and collaboration as countries seek to build alliances and partnerships to advance their interests. This shift has profound implications for international relations as nations adjust to a world where power is more dispersed. Traditional alliances are being re-evaluated, and new partnerships are being formed to navigate this complex landscape. The United States, while still a dominant force, can no longer act unilaterally without considering the interests and actions of other major players. This necessitates a more nuanced approach to foreign policy, where multilateralism and coalition building become essential strategies. This necessitates a more collaborative approach to global governance, where dialogue and diplomacy take center stage. International institutions and forums, such as the United Nations and G20, play crucial roles in facilitating these discussions and negotiations. The rise of multipolarity also presents opportunities for smaller nations, which can leverage their positions to advance their interests. These countries can act as mediators, bridge builders, and innovators in the global arena. By forging strategic alliances and engaging in skillful diplomacy, they can exert influence disproportionate to their size, playing a more active role in shaping the global agenda. This allows them to punch above their weight and contribute meaningfully to international discourse. This dynamic environment demands flexibility and adaptability as nations navigate a complex web of relationships and shifting alliances. The ability to respond to changing circumstances and seize emerging opportunities will define the success of countries in this new multipolar world. The emergence of a multipolar world has ushered in a new era of international relations, characterized by a complex interplay of cooperation and competition. While traditional rivalries persist, nations are increasingly compelled to collaborate on issues of shared concern, such as climate change, pandemics, and cybersecurity. This dynamic, often referred to as co-opetition, reflects the interconnected nature of global challenges, which transcend national borders and require collective action. International organizations such as the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and the G20 play a crucial role in facilitating dialogue and cooperation among nations. These institutions provide platforms for negotiations, set global standards, and help resolve disputes. However, they face increasing pressure to reform and adapt to the changing realities of the 21st century, including the growing influence of emerging powers. The effectiveness of international cooperation is often tested by geopolitical tensions and competing national interests. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine, for example, highlights the fragility of the rules-based international order and the challenges of maintaining peace and security in a multipolar world. Despite these challenges, the need for global cooperation has never been greater. The COVID-19 pandemic in particular demonstrated the interconnectedness of our world and the importance of working together to address common threats. The New World Order, therefore, demands a delicate balance between competition and cooperation, recognizing that the well-being of one nation is inextricably linked to the well-being of others. No conversation about the New World Order is complete without acknowledging the transformative impact of China's rise. This transformation has not only altered the economic landscape, but has also shifted geopolitical dynamics in profound ways. Over the past few decades, China has undergone an unprecedented economic transformation, emerging as the world's second-largest economy and a major player on the global stage. This rapid growth has been fueled by a combination of state-led initiatives, market reforms, and a vast labor force. This rise has been accompanied by a more assertive foreign policy, as China seeks to secure its interests and expand its influence. From the South China Sea to its Belt and Road Initiative, China's strategic moves are reshaping regional and global power structures. China's growing economic might is evident in its vast infrastructure projects, its dominance in manufacturing, and its increasing technological prowess. High-speed rail networks, cutting-edge tech hubs, and massive manufacturing plants are just a few examples of this transformation. The Belt and Road Initiative, for example, is a testament to China's ambition to reshape global trade routes and connect Asia, Africa, and Europe through a network of infrastructure projects. This initiative aims to foster economic cooperation and development, but it also serves to extend China's influence across continents. This initiative has raised concerns about debt trap diplomacy and China's growing influence in developing countries. Critics argue that the financial burdens placed on these nations could lead to increased dependency on China, potentially compromising their sovereignty. On the technological front, China is rapidly catching up to the United States, particularly in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and quantum computing. Chinese tech giants are making significant strides, challenging the dominance of Western companies and setting new standards in innovation. This technological rivalry has significant implications for the future of global power as nations compete for dominance in these critical sectors. The race for technological supremacy is not just about economic gains but also about national security and global influence. China's rise presents both opportunities and challenges for the international community. While its economic growth has created new markets and lifted millions out of poverty, it has also led to increased competition and geopolitical tensions. On the one hand, China's economic growth has lifted millions out of poverty and created new markets for goods and services. This has had a positive impact on global trade and economic development, providing opportunities for businesses and consumers worldwide. On the other hand, China's authoritarian system of governance, its human rights record, and its assertive foreign policy have raised concerns among many countries, leading to increased tensions and competition. The international community must navigate these complexities as it seeks to engage with a rising China.